So what am I saying?
What do you want to say?
Well, I wanted this to be like a good follow-up.
How about this? I have a few questions, but I want you to go just stream of consciousness. Here's what I would like you to do. I want you to walk me through the entire event in a minute or two.
Okay. Oh, there's like a bug crawling on my butt. Don't use that. That felt really weird too. I hope it's not in my pants. I guess we'll find out. Should I start with like loading it? There's totally a bug in my pants. So I got up this morning and I came to school and I practiced. After I practiced, I went downstairs. I found a cart. Went through the crazy process of getting it outside. Walked it all the way to the garage, got my stuff out of my car, loaded it up, and put it in the choir room to be held until it was time to go. A couple friends came out to help, and we pulled the cart all the way to the SAC, which was quite a little hike. We unfolded it. I put a chair down. I wrote the first thought that I wanted to put on that tarp, and I sat down and I played for 45 minutes straight. Throughout the course of the project, we had a ton of people come by. I mean, kids, adults, teachers, students, homeless guy, everything. So many people, and it was absolutely wonderful to see the kind of input and impact that were created from this project.
Tell me the differences between how you envisioned this in your head and how it went in real life.
Well, I definitely pictured it being quite a mess. I was afraid people were going to write, almost wherever they wanted to and get in the way of other people. I was afraid that markers were going to run out. I was afraid nobody would write anything at all and I would just look like a freak sitting in the middle of campus playing a bunch of loud stuff on my tuba. But I think people really took it to heart, and I really do accredit that not only with the strength of this project and the validity of it, but with the help of my friends being so wonderful about explaining the ideas and really believing in it themselves. It was evident to me after we created that video and after the uproar that it caused that this would be a pretty successful project. In addition to all the things that people had told me upon seeing the video, or just people I've explained my idea to before, I knew pretty well early on that it was going to be a hit. Yeah, I didn't think it was going to go badly at all.
Okay. Now, tell me, do you remember the first person that wrote on the tarp?
I can't remember who it was I was playing, but Eric told me that right after I wrote alone in front of my chair and I sat down, somebody immediately came up and started writing. So, this is a real call to arms. They didn't need any instruction. They knew exactly what was on their mind. It was very impressive to see somebody have such a clear thought in their head, and really to me that's like, we have these thoughts that are just overbearing and they're always at the front of our minds. The second we're able to release them, we know it so clearly because it's constantly in our heads, and I think this was a chance for everyone to let out those crystal clear reverberating thoughts.
Good. Now, so while everyone else is getting their thoughts out in paper on the ground, you are having internal thoughts. For 45 minutes you are improvising, you are just thinking, you are existing while people are doing this. What's going on in your head?
I was just trying to think all the things that bother me on a daily basis. I had moments of being rushed and panicked, which really freaked me out. I had moments of like mopiness and depression where I don't want to play anything and I would just play like slow or descending kind of falling gestures. I had some sweet melodies, because I'm not always just a wreck, but I really tried to tap into the core of my emotion, what I feel, in order to accurately portray that in my improvisation.
What was going through your mind when you started to feel a drizzle?
We saw yesterday that it was going to be a 50% chance of rain, which was terrifying. Luckily for us, that chance went down as the day progressed yesterday. And waking up today, it's a little sticky outside, but it was very nice. Now, during the middle of the project, it did start to rain. To me, that just, that didn't douse the fire so much as fuel it. It was very, very cool to just have that kind of outpour of nature, to me, kind of symbolizing this outpour of emotion that we were expressing on this tarp. Made everything a little messy, but I think when it gets right down to it, that was a very, very cool part of what we did today.
Did you get a chance to read anything on the tarp?
Well, I walked around and some of the words and stuff on there that people put was just extremely moving. Some of it very, very dark, others very, very hopeful. This isn't all about just bad thoughts. This is thoughts that you just have to express. Something that's on the front of your mind. And for some people, it's a thought of, I'm never going to be good enough. And for some people, it's a thought of, I hope I can help somebody today, And so it doesn't all have to be bad, but we do have these burning thoughts. And I think that we got a good record of the differences that people have in their thinking.
Is there any quote, or are there quotes that stick out to you that make you feel a certain way, good or bad?
The most powerful thing for me, I didn't see this happen, I was playing, but Eric, one of the people who helped me, told me that a teacher walked by with a group of students, and she said she wanted to write on the tarp, but didn't want her students to see what she wrote. So she led her students along and wrote on it, and what she put was really, really moving. This is paraphrasing, I can't remember exactly, but it said something along the lines of, even if my partner and I stay together or not, we're both going to grow old and die. And to me, that was the most moving thing that I saw. It was such a realization, I guess, for me. And it's really hard to think about that even though, you can create all these relationships, you can do all these things, but in the end, we're all going to have nothing. I think seeing that and seeing that somebody else had put that really affected me, and I think it's going to affect everyone who sees it.
Were you expecting people to be so deep right from the get-go?
I really wasn't expecting people to be so deep right from the get-go, but I do understand why now. Like we've been talking about, just these overbearing thoughts that weigh on us, and they weigh and weigh and weigh, and we never have anyone to express them to because we feel like we can't. And so once we're finally asked for what those thoughts are specifically, they come out so easily. And I think in doing so, we release a bit of our inner demons. And I think everyone that participated today hopefully walked away feeling a little better, maybe a little calmer about all of this in general. I'm actually, I'm really proud of everyone who came out and helped me out too, and I can't wait to represent everyone's thoughts.
Describe the event in one word. The experience.
I'd say up front. This is taking the deep, dark thoughts that we all have, and it's putting them out on display for everyone to see. People can watch you write those words on there. I'm going to show them to everyone in my recital. And in taking that risk and in being upfront, we are actually able to, I think, prove a point and show everyone that this is something that needs to be talked about. It's something we can't just brush under the table anymore. Well, I would like to thank all of my wonderful friends who helped me with this. Luke behind the camera, Eric Gonzalez, Jose Flores, and Stephen Vogel. I think everyone really bought into the idea and believed in me, and I think in doing so, we were all able to create something greater than had I just done it by myself.